Make sure you're tagging them in the team call information so they can know where to find the Zoom link and password, but always extend that personal invitation. That'll help us get numbers up, and it will help you. The more people you can get tuning in to our weekly team trainings, to all of our events, the quicker your business will grow. And this is honestly a very small attendance tonight. Maybe people are out celebrating Valentine's Day. That's probably it. But everybody will catch the recording too. But we're going to go ahead and get started, you guys. So welcome, Juli, Urevick, and team. We're so excited to have you guys here. And I want to share with you, I met Juli at a conference. We were sitting in front of her and her husband, and I think Scott started the conversation with Chuck. And Juli and I have become dear friends. We talk every single week. We hold each other accountable on our leader in action forms. What I love about my friendship with Juli is we don't just complain about something. If we have an issue, we discuss it, but we come up with a solution. So we never just say, we don't whine about a situation, or, we're out of a product and, get upset about it. We talk about whatever it is at hand, and then we come up with a solution to fix it. So no time in whining and complaining or any of that. And I love that about our friendship. And we just truly try to help each other and strategize so that we can stay on track with our goals. And my friendship with her is great because I'll learn things from her that I can bring back to you guys. And I hope I do the same for her. I hope I'm able to, sometimes share ideas with her that she can take back to her team. So when I was chatting with her, I think yesterday, it was over the weekend, and I was telling her one problem that I have trouble teaching people is for them to get the importance of having a sense of urgency. When I was going for Crystal Executive, I didn't want to leave any money on the table. I was so fired up. My why was so huge. There was just like no chance I was going to miss any of that bonus money. And we didn't have all the pools we have today. But I just went for every single incentive that was announced. And I didn't even think about what would happen if I didn't get it. It just was not an option for me. And that's hard to teach people. So we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. So first of all, welcome, Juli.
Thank you so much. This is such an honor to be with you all. And Scott, it's good to see you. Happy Valentine's Day. The reason I got on right at 8 o'clock was because Chuck came in with flowers. And of course I had to, say happy Valentine's Day to my husband of 33 years. So sorry, I was a little bit late.
That's okay. Tell him hello. And I'm so glad he came home with flowers.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So let's talk about the importance of your why. I was sharing with you today about that class that I tuned in on today, and they talked about not only having a why, but whatever your why is. We've done a training going 7 layers deep. John Stankiewicz did a great training for us many, many months ago. And I know some of you are new and may not have heard that, but what they talked about today was having 5 reasons why that is your goal, and then going over that list over and over again and making sure that it ignites you. If your why is simply getting your products paid for, that's great, but that's not going to be strong enough. It's just not. So and I have lots of talks with many of you one-on-one, and I'll ask you what your why is, and I'll have people really going to work on making it a little bit stronger. So Juli, let's talk a little bit about that. How important is it to have a really powerful why, and share your why when you got started and maybe how that's changed over the years?
It has definitely changed over the years. I mean, when we started Isogenics 9.5 years ago, we had 1 that had just gone off to college and 3 at home, and they were all into sports. And so we were running from one place to the next. You guys know my story, many of you. We spent a lot of time at ball fields, football, baseball, rugby. I mean, you name it, we were there. And Chuck coached and I coached. And so it was kind of crazy. So I was working at that point, and my why was I loved my job. I just knew the power of residual income and ongoing income. And I loved being my own boss. I had done that before. So that was kind of my why, to get back to that, because the minute I got home from work every day, it was like craziness until I went to bed, and I just had no time. I didn't have as much time to work out like I love. And so it kind of shifted over the years. I did leave my job after about a year and a half of doing isogenics. And then it just shifted over the years to being able to go see our two boys who played college sports play in college. And just having that freedom to be able to go and watch them wherever, whatever state they were in, watch them go play. And then now it's changed even more because now we have 4 kids that are all over the place. None of them live where we live. And so it's really important to me, because I'm super close to our boys, that I get into their town and get to see them and spend some time. And next week is a perfect example. I'm going to Arizona, and we have a leadership retreat there with our team. And I'm going to spend a few days there. And then I'm going to go drive to Sedona to spend a couple of days with our son, Braden. So it's just freedom, you guys. It just gives you freedom. And so it wasn't about the money. It never has been about the money for me. It's always been more about choices. And I love having choices. I love working out when I want. It's awesome. And not having to worry about when am I going to fit it in, right? I know when I fit it in now. I just walk downstairs and work out in my gym. It's great. So that's been how it has shifted for me.
If I'm curious, if freedom is one of your deep whys, guys, will you write freedom in the chat? I want to see how many people that resonates with, whether it's time freedom, financial freedom. That's a big one. That's a lot of people's main goal in doing isogenics as a business. Yeah, freedom. And a lot of the financial things go along with that. A lot of people come to us for the income, and I really want you guys to understand $500 extra a month could change someone's life. And I was sharing a story with Julie today, and just remind me to get back to that story about the $2,100. I don't want to talk about it right now. I want to stay on track. But the why piece is so stinking important. How many of you guys, if the financial opportunity is really your main driver, you really want to and need to earn an income, write finance or financial in the chat for me. Let me know that, because I think that's another main one. And also, I think a lot of people stay for the community. Do you agree with that, Julie? I think sometimes people come in for one reason and they stay because this community is so precious.
It's 100% the most important thing to me. And of course, you all know that I'm a coach by nature. I coached for 22 years from the time I got out of college. The very first year I graduated from Miami of Ohio, and I started coaching. I was so green. I was 21 years old, coaching soccer, high school girls. And I love pulling together people, teaching skills, training on those skills, implementing those skills, and watching them go out and use them on the field, right? And that's what I see so much in isogenics, is that we start somebody new and we really try to teach them the fundamentals. And I think we all need to get back to the fundamentals. Like after the last couple of years, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I need to start again, like restart how I'm going to get out in the community and how I'm going to approach new people and get out of my warm market. I mean, it seems like after 9 years, I've definitely hit my warm market. And I'm sure how many of you guys have? Raise your hand, because I know probably most of us have. So we really have to get creative in finding ways to get out of that warm market.
And that's what we're going to talk about next. Before I leave, the importance of your why. If you guys feel like your why is just not strong enough, I heard a really good saying today that my why is going to push my excuses out the window. And if your why is not strong enough to push your excuses out the window, you really need to work on that. And that is just simply sitting down and writing down the desires of your heart, whether it's time freedom, financial freedom, both. A lot of you are both in the chat. Whether it's the community, the culture, whether this is your plan B, you want to have a retirement plan. Some of you, I know, just looking at who's on the call, want to get out of a corporate job. Some of you love your corporate job and you just want this for additional income. It doesn't matter, but your why has to be strong enough to shoot those excuses right out the door, because you're gonna have a million reasons why you can't do this or you don't have time for it. I know so many of you are so busy, and it's like, if you do not have a strong enough why, you're not going to be able to push through the next level and take your business next level, because you're going to follow the excuses and not the why. So before we move on, I just wanted to say that. Yeah, go ahead, Julie.
I was just going to say, and your whys will change, as I mentioned in the beginning. But if your why isn't driving you into activity every single day, if you're not waking up in the morning, you guys, with a plan, then you need to upgrade your why.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to find something that drives you. If it's not money, focus on somebody else's why. And I'm going to share a story in a little bit about somebody else who I'm really focused on right now. And I've always focused on people on my team, but this is just going to be an example that'll explain that a little bit more.
Let's go into that now. So Julie and I always are focused on our leader in action points. For those of you that are brand new or haven't met Julie before, she is the leader in action queen. Typically, when anyone needs someone to train on leader in action, they ask Julie to do it. She does such a great job. I would say we have a million things in common, but she's definitely more of a numbers girl than me. And so she really is helpful with that. So that's one thing we spend a lot of time doing. We'll send each other messages. Got my rank advancement point. We always track how many points do you have when like right now, we're in the last week of the 4-week leader in action month. So we talk and track our points together. So she sent me a message last week. I just got a director. And we got on the phone and she told me the story, and it was so awesome. I'm like, I want you to share this tonight. So share the story, because I think when we're talking about creating a sense of urgency, talk about Ashley and how were you able to do that? Tell the story.
So I was out running one day, and I run in the warmer weather. I run inside. I'm not like Lisa. I'm not going to bundle up and go all running outside like Lisa, you crazy girl. And I love that about you, but I am a warm weather runner. So anyway, I was running in the neighborhood and I kept seeing her, and she was just darling. Like, she always had a smile on her face. She's one of those people that didn't look miserable when she was running. She looked happy. And then I think I saw her a few times waiting at the bus stop for her little young girls. And I thought, I need to meet her. I need to strike up a conversation, not because of Isogenics, just because we had decided to stay here in Louisville and build a house in the same neighborhood that we were living in. And I wanted to make more friends in the neighborhood. So we met, and we didn't really talk too much about Isogenics, but we did talk about health and fitness. And we kind of walked together for a little bit after we met on the street one day. And then I think I brought her some shakes to try. Because she had mentioned that she had tummy issues, and we were talking about that. I said, me too. But I have finally found something that fueled my workouts and busy days as a mama of 4, and helped with that. Right. And so that's kind of how it started. I never thought that Ashley was going to be this great business builder. I just thought, I just want to get to know her. I want to be her friend. Right. And so we started becoming friends and talking more. We'd meet on the street for a long walk or whatever. And it just kind of happened. And then she said, I want to get those shakes and I want to try that collagen. And so that's how we got started. She is a pharmacist. She works full time with 2 young girls. Her husband's a dentist. I don't think the financial reason is as strong for Ashley. Although she did say, because of all that was happening with the schools, the public schools here where her oldest daughter was, they were shutting them down for months at a time. The private schools were going. And she's like, if I do this, I want this money to go toward private school tuition. So you guys, that has become a driving factor, and the reason I get up in the morning and I look at this every day, because Ashley's name is on this paper. And it says Ashley Director. I got to cross that off last week. And now it says Ashley Executive. And I have Martha Brown, who's on the call tonight. She goes on my list every month too, to rank advance to the next level. I'm going to get Martha to 5-star. And when she gets to 5-star, well, she's going to get herself to 5-star. She doesn't need me, but I'm going to support her along that way and whatever she needs, right? When she gets to 5-star, then I'll slide her down to the next goal, which would be 6-star. So I'm constantly looking at that. But Ashley was able to she didn't get to Crystal anything because she started out slower. And what I want to say about that is that if you've missed Crystal deadlines, Who cares? There is so much money in the pool money right now, and the manager pools, the director pools. Oh my gosh, if you didn't see the director pool this month, it was insane. And those people who earned leader in action points in the director pool made bank. I'm just telling you, you got to play in the pools. And the only way to play in the pools is by following the leader in action. And then executive pool. So this month we got Ashley to manager halfway, or she was a manager when she started the month. 2 weeks in, on a Sunday night, she got to director. And you know why? Because we had a plan. And we had a plan to get her to director so that she could play in both pools for this month. So she's going to get all of her leader in action points at the bottom, those 3 columns, plus the 1 point for the first week at manager, 1 point for the second week. You add those points with that, and she'll get paid in the manager pool. And then you take those same bottom column 3 points and add the 2 weeks that she'll be paid as director, and add that, and she'll get paid that amount of shares in the director pool. She has an opportunity, you guys, to earn $3,500 just in the manager and director pool this month. It's brilliant.
And that's huge. So there are a lot of you that are not taking advantage of the pool money. And for those of you that are, maybe you could type in the chat, how have the pools like impacted you? Do you love the pools? Like, I don't think the shares are out officially yet. Are they, Julie? Like, they are. Okay. So guys, the manager pool, for each share that people earned in the manager pool, they got $51. In the director pool, they got $126.69 per share. Oh my gosh, that is mind blowing. The pool money is actually bigger for people that are newer than it is for us. You know, the biggest pool was $34.03, which is still amazing and awesome. But those smaller, the earlier ranks, manager and director, that's where all the money is. So it behooves us to teach our people how to earn money in these pools. How to do it is by tracking their points on the leader in action. So what I love about Ashley's story is it wasn't her goal to, like, she didn't join because she wanted to earn money in these pools. Julie just shared with her along the way. Once she got her started on the product, she just started, you know, dripping on her. And then when she raised her hand and said, yeah, I wouldn't, you know, how did that go? Did you just say, do you want to get your products paid for? How did you get her to start sharing? Let me ask you that.
I just said, this is a no-brainer. I mean, you're into health and wellness. You already love the products. This is a no-brainer. I mean, you're just shifting your spending from something else to Isogenics. You're opening your own virtual health food store. And that's how that conversation started. Can I point another person out who's on the Zoom right now?
Maddie Chapman, maybe?
Maddie Chapman. Maddie Chapman is on my team. She's under Missy Hauser, under Martha Brown, and she is killing it. Maddie got to Crystal Consultant. She got to Crystal Manager. She got to Crystal Director. And she just earned, by the way, she's a 21-year-old newlywed college student. She just earned $25.54 in the director pool because of the share value she got as paid as director, and with that huge payout for the director pool.
Okay. I'm looking for her. Where is she?
Yeah.
Okay, Maddie, you need to unmute yourself for a minute, girlfriend.
Unmute her.
Hello.
21 years old. Are you kidding me?
I'm actually 20 years old.
20 years old. How does it feel to make an extra $2,500? And that's probably not all you're earning in the month.
No, it's not. It's very, very wonderful. And I'm super grateful that I discovered this wonderful business. So it's been so fun.
So did you come here for the business or for the products?
Well, I've consumed the products for like 5-6 years because my mom always had it just through high school. But then I went away to school and I came back, and the 9 to 5 was not cutting it for my health, for my energy, for nothing. So I knew Missy Hauser since I was little. So I just reached out to her and we met, and the rest is history. So it's so fun. I actually joined 6 days before my 20th birthday. So
that is so amazing. And we have quite a few young people on our team. So I just wanted to, when I heard that, I'm like, we have to unmute you. So obviously that wasn't planned. So thank you for unmuting. So
Oh, of course.
What's next?
Well, I want to get to executive, but I'm gonna swim in this director pool as long as I can. And then I'll get to executive and try to stay there if I can. Maybe we can party together in Fiji.
Oh gosh, absolutely. That's amazing. And honestly, when she says that, party in the director pool, because the director shares are so large, you can do that for 3 months until you have to move into the executive pool. So that's a smart little cookie. Someone must be coaching her up, right? All right. Well, that is just great news. Congratulations, Maddie.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Sorry, Julie, I just had to. That's great.
No, I love it. I mean, it's so fun celebrating people that are just kind of catching the vision, right? And Maddie, we're just so proud of you and just taking the bull by the horns and going for it. And again, maximizing that income. And that's what Ashley is doing. So I challenge Maddie and Ashley, who are not financially linked, I said, whoever gets a director first gets a free dinner on me. And so Maddie got to director first, and now it's game on, because whoever gets to director first out of those two girls
Executive.
is going to get something else, right? So, but we'll celebrate them both, because I know they'll both get there.
That's awesome. All right. So before we talk about taking action and before we start wrapping it up and talking about what's coming, I want to talk about networking. One thing that super impresses me about you, first of all, she is an 8-star platinum, 4-star crystal executive. She is on the field advisory board, which is a job in itself, you guys. A lot of hours per week is dedicated to that. Running her own business. Yes, her children are all grown and gone, but she's still very, very involved in their life. So this is a busy lady on the phone, but yet she is still going to networking events and she just joined some networking events. So let's talk about that. I think last time I had you on a call, you talked about joining, not racquetball, pickleball, and you were putting your QR code on the pickleball racket. So talk a little bit about the importance of networking, especially for those of us that might be feeling like most of our family and friends or Facebook friends know what we do already. And you and I had this conversation today about how we really need some fresh new people. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, one of my favorite things to do is to challenge myself. And I challenge myself physically as an athlete. I still challenge myself. I started a stupid ab roller. I hate it, but I'm getting stronger and I'm getting better. But it's not fun. And sometimes you kind of have to do that. You kind of have to push yourself a little bit to, just set a goal and go for it, because it feels so good, you guys. So I did start playing pickleball last year. I wanted to pick up a different sport. Soccer is not happening anymore at my age. And I just thought, I'm competitive. I want to do another sport. So I tried pickleball. And every time I go play pickleball, which isn't often enough, I meet someone and they enroll. And it's because I'm so passionate about these products and this business too. But I realized about myself that I need to get out more again. I mean, it's easy to get super comfortable. We just built a house and we moved in, and I love my house, and I could be fine never leaving it, but I'm a very social person too. And I realized I need to get out. So I did join some networking groups recently. I joined the Chamber of Commerce. It just feels good to get out and start talking about Isagenix with people who don't know anything about me. And I was able to stand up last week. I was invited to an event and I talked for like 3 minutes about what I did. And I had people like raising their hand saying, wait, I want more information. And so it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you've accomplished something. And if one person out of the 12 that were there decide to do it, awesome. I don't have to go 12 for 12. I'm happy with 1 for 12, because it's one more person than I would have gotten had I not gone. And so I will be doing more of that. And I think it's helpful. So if you can get out and about in a group, I've heard lots of great training on the director call the other night. She talked about getting all. So, if people can get out and get in some Facebook groups, then that's awesome. Something that interests you, because then you can make connections that way as well.
Yeah. And a lot of people prefer Facebook groups because there's a little bit of uncomfortableness about going out and meeting people. But What would you say to that, Julie? Because I know right now you're comfortable talking to people, but what if you've got someone watching right now that really knows they need to make their circle bigger, they need to grow their network, but they're fearful of going to a networking event? Can you speak a little bit about that? Because that's a big one. And I've watched, I've got Dana Randazzo on the call tonight, and when she really started taking her business next level, we talked about getting involved in a networking group. And I remember how nervous she was when she started having to do her 30-second commercials. And then they had her present. And we like literally had to sit down and create a PowerPoint for her. She was so nervous. And she has gotten so much better and so much more comfortable with it now. So talk about that, because I think most people are more comfortable sitting behind the computer doing Facebook groups, and that can really help you grow your business. But is it better, or what would you say about in person?
I think it's better because people can see it. They can feel your excitement when you get out and start talking about it. And you guys, I know that everybody on here loves the products, right? Or you wouldn't be here. So find something that excites you a lot. Like, is it the collagen? Is it the new skincare? Is it the hair revival that's coming out? And then get out there and force yourself to talk to somebody. I saw Martha in the chat. Martha's my good buddy. She was just here for Super Bowl last night. She does networking like none other. I mean, she just said, I think she challenges herself when she goes to a gym. She'll go to new gyms to take different classes just to meet new people. And she challenges herself to talk to somebody and start a conversation. It doesn't have to be about isogenics. Just start a conversation that, that can lead to it or may lead to it, but may not, but you're just developing relationships with people.
Yeah. And Martha, I know I didn't ask you, but would you care to unmute? I just would love to hear, what does that conversation look like? Because again, I think we've got a lot of people that do go to gyms and go to yoga studios and work out. How do you approach someone? And do you ask if they're on social media? How do you connect with them?
Yeah, I'd be happy to share. I've been doing this for years. Of course, the season that we've all been in kind of put a halt on it for a while, but when you ask about the difference of in-person versus doing it virtually, I feel like there's so much more energy when you're talking to someone in person, and it's more fun. It's more fun. So what I do, whether or not it's like, I went to a body pump class for years, and there'd always be someone in the room. Maybe they're new that day, or maybe they've come a few times. And I would just tell myself, you have to go meet that person before you leave. So I would go up in between, like during a break time, and just say, hey, I'm Martha, and just introduce myself, and they would introduce themselves. And we may just have like a 10-second conversation, or we may talk for several minutes. And if we did, and if we had a connection, I would just say, hey, are you on Facebook? Let's be friends. And when you become friends on Facebook, what is the first thing I do when I hop in the car? I go check them out. But I'm betting they probably go check me out too. So what does your Facebook profile look like, and who are they going to see when they go to your profile? And then you just, can continue a conversation from there. And it isn't always about talking about isogenics. It's just like, what a blessing to meet new people and have new relationships. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, I always say we're like professional friend makers. We can just make friends everywhere we go. Do you bring like extra products with you? Do you ever have like a backpack with nitro sticks in there that you give out? Like, what does that look like?
A lot of times, especially if we have like a new instructor, I'll always have hydrate in there, sticks of hydrate, and maybe an extra e-shot, and say, hey, if you're teaching another class this afternoon, try this before you do it. Just a natural thing to share with people. Say, this has just been great for me, and you might enjoy it too.
Yeah. And see, she's not selling any product there, guys. It's not uncomfortable. It's not icky. It doesn't feel slimy, but she is really just starting to build some rapport. And eventually, once these people are now following her on Facebook, she might put a post out there about a group starting or a new product. And someone might say, hey, Martha, I met you at that body pump class and I'm interested in what you have to offer. Can you tell me more? And that's how it goes. Thank you, Martha. I know I didn't ask you.
Sure. Oh, no problem. Well, the other thing is, if I do hand out a hydrate stick, I better have their contact information, because it's just nothing if I just hand it out and don't follow up in a couple days. So that's always a key factor too.
Yeah. And I always say with networking, don't just go to networking events and hand out your business card. If you hand out your business card and expect them to call you and follow up with you, it is like posting and praying, really, guys. You have to have their contact information so that you can follow up with them. And I'm guilty of this. I've had a few instances where I've given my business card and I've walked away and I'm like, I am never going to hear from them. Gosh dang it. I really thought they were great. I should have gotten their information, and I beat myself up. So learn from our mistakes and make sure you don't do that. Awesome. All right. So Julie,
A hack real quick.
yeah.
Let me share this hack real quick. So when I went to that networking brunch the other day, I got business cards from everybody, and I actually had to leave early because I had another appointment. But when I get in my car, you guys, anytime I meet somebody new or an airplane, I write notes on the back of their cards. So I remember everything I ask them. So it's important to ask questions when you're meeting somebody, or if like in an airplane. I have enrolled so many people from airplane conversations, I can't even tell you, because the minute, like I'll go to the bathroom after I'm talking to them and I'm like typing in my phone, everything I can remember about what I asked them, because people love that. They love that you remember that they have 2 kids and a dog named Sam and blah, they're from whatever, but they live here now. They love that you remembered that. And it's just huge.
I'm glad you brought that up, because honestly, probably one of the worst things from COVID for me is wearing the masks on the airplanes. I'm so frustrated wearing those darn things that I don't even engage in conversation, because I can't hear people. I can't see their lips. I can't read their mouths. So it's like, I haven't even tried the last, 2 years on an airplane. So I need to get back to that, because I've done the same thing. So got to get over that, because we might be wearing masks for a while on airplanes, right? All right. So let's wrap this up with a bow. We talked today that we really want to give everyone some action steps, things that they can leave this call to do, because guys, how many of you, type in the chat, earned the trip to Mexico, Mad Dash to Mexico? I see a few of you on the call that were in Mexico, or if you didn't go, but you took the cash. That was an amazing incentive. It was a 7-week really push. And out of our 13 team members that earned it, 9 had never earned a trip before. It was their very first time earning a trip. And every one of them was like, I am never missing a trip again. They were so excited about it. It was such a great team bonding experience. It was absolutely amazing. We hear another one's coming. We hope to find out soon, because I think it's going to be starting in March. That's about all we know. Julie and I do not, she might know, but she's probably sworn to secrecy, but I do not know. But we know that we need to be preparing for it in these last couple of weeks of February. So let's talk about that, Julie. What action steps can we get everybody taking so they're ready to go if they really want to earn this next trip?
I would say get out a piece of cardboard and lay out who you're going to enroll, who you're going to promote, and focus on those people. Really dig in, you guys, dig in your organization and see who you can get to consultant. Maybe you have a great customer who orders every month and you can get them to consultant by, looking at their personal holding volume and figuring out how many times they would cycle, and you need to share your story.
Yeah, this happened to me, you guys. I saw someone post on Facebook that she lost 10 pounds in the last 30 days. And she was someone that was a 2PE customer of ours. And I lost track of her, to be quite honest with you. She doesn't really build the business. And the person that brought her in is completely gone. And when I saw that, I wonder how she lost the weight. So I went to my back office, and here she had been ordering. I want to say she has 5 million BV or something insane. She's been ordering for years. But what I was shocked to see was how much PV she had stored. And I've calculated it. And then I saw she did have someone ordering on her inside leg. So that's why she had so much volume. I'm like, oh my gosh, I sent her a message and I said, I might just make your day today. I said, You just need a 100 BV order on your left side and you're going to earn $2,100. Would you like to get on a Zoom? She writes back within seconds, oh my gosh, yes. So I Zoomed with her and I screen shared. She doesn't understand left side, right side, team leg, pay leg. She doesn't understand anything. I shared the screen with her. And guys, she's in my 2 PET. So I'm not going to get a cycle match on this. It was 100 BV. So a third of a cycle for me. That's all that was. But I made this lady's day. She really needed that $2,100. I can't even tell you how excited I was. I got off the phone and I'm like, that good deed is going to last me for the whole week. I was so excited. So Julie and I were chatting about that. And you didn't you have someone on your team that even had more than that stored up?
Yeah, he earned $3,100. It was on Martha's team, and he cycled 57 times. Can I just share, you guys, too, getting back to Leader in Action, because you know I'm all about how to get points in Leader in Action.
Yes.
The person who enrolled him, I don't even think, yeah, I guess Martha, were you the enrolling sponsor? Just type it in the chat. I can't remember. Whoever enrolled him earned 2 points for every star that he achieved by getting those 57 cycles.
So 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star.
He just missed 4 stars.
3 star.
So 2 points for 1 star, 2 points for 2 star, 2 points for 3 star. He got to consultant for the first time. So that was another 2 points. So he earned, or I think it was Martha, the enrolling sponsor, 8 Leader in Action points in the rank advancement column. So when I share that, when you look at your form or you look at your organization, especially those of us who have been in a while, and you have a customer who orders every month, reach out to them every month, do the math and say, look, you don't have to say cycle because they don't care about that. They don't know what that means. You would make $350 if you found one more person or if you found 2 people. And when they do that, it's a win-win, because when they're personally enrolled to you, then you get Leader in Action points for them rank advancing, but they get the money, right? And Cindy and I talked about this earlier today. When you get people paid, your customers, they're going to be customers forever. I bet you that person that just made $2,100 is going to keep ordering.
Yes.
And so remember that's long-term retention, right?
Yeah.
When you can get them paid occasionally. One of my high school buddies got to 20 cycles. So I got 2 points for rank advancing her to consultant, 2 for 1 star, 2 for 2 star. And so I got 6 Leader in Action points and she made $1,000. Win-win. Yeah. And she's never, ever missed a month of ordering in 5 years.
That's amazing. So the lesson to learn there, guys, is really to look through your tree, go through that tree. And, I needed that reminder to look for this person, but certainly you can easily look at your 1 PEs. That's easy. That's very easy. Digging deep is a little bit trickier, but you absolutely want to do your 1 PEs because that can help you with points. Doing the deeper search can keep really happy customers that will stay ordering for sure. There's so many benefits to that, but your 1 PEs, that's where you're going to be able to get some great rank advancement points. So action for them to go home with here. Let's talk about that. So we want them combing through their tree, looking for potential people to rank advance. We want them making a sheet of cardboard or however you guys want to do it to start tracking. I really think you need to work on your list and adding names to your list. So most of you, maybe not all of you, but a lot of you use Penny. So make sure you're adding more and more people to Penny. If you're not using Penny, make sure you're using something for a list and you're adding people to the list. So when March 1st hits, if the incentive starts March 1st, you've got people to talk to already. Anything else that you want to add to the taking action step, Julie?
I would just say too, when you're looking through your organization and you're adding to those people that you want to enroll, pick a couple that you really want to focus on, because that's what I did with Ashley. I'm like, Ashley, we're going, like, we're all in, like, you're getting to director this weekend. I mean, we just did that. We made it happen. And so I think focusing on that one person that you can definitely rank advance and really show them how to earn every single penny I'm doing a training for our retreat next week, and I think it's called like squeezing every penny out of the compensation plan. And so I want you to remember that, you guys. And let's get real. This may not motivate you to, like, the money part may not motivate you. It doesn't really motivate me. But what motivates me is my team winning. And ask Martha, ask Missy, ask Maddie. I want my team to win, because some of them, money is the motivation. So if you can really dive in and show them how to earn every penny in that compensation plan, you win. Your
Yeah.
team wins. It's
Yeah.
just so fun.
Yeah, and I feel the same exact way. And I remember, I can't remember how Gina words that. Is she on here? I don't think she's on right now. Do you guys, Tiffany or Andrea, do you remember how Gina words that? Something the same, very similar. She's got a phrase she uses for that, teaching people how to squeeze all the money out. Anybody know? No. I'll tell you guys after, but it's the same concept. You know, we really don't want to leave any money on the table. So figuring out your why, but then taking it the step further and talk to your people and find out what their why is. Everyone's whys are very different. They will change, but we've got to get to the heart of the why. We have to take it 5 reasons why that is your goal. So if for me, my why was to be a stay-at-home mom all those years ago when I got into this business, that wasn't enough. I needed 5 reasons. One of them might be so I didn't have to ask Scott for money if I wanted to take the kids to the zoo for the day, and I wanted to go to the science center, and that was going to cost a lot of money, and I didn't want to have to go to him. So I wanted my own income to be able to do that. One of them was I wanted to be able to buy a wooden playset that was going to cost $1,500 for my kids that he would probably never have okayed. And I didn't want to have to ask him for that. So just things like that, like giving 5 specific reasons why your why is so important. Taking it that step further, make sure it ignites you. It's got to be something that fires you up, and then post your reasons, look at them daily, have your goals all over the place. If this next trip, and I want to hear who might be motivated to go for the next trip, wherever it is, type it in the chat. I'm in. If you're in. If that's a goal for you, you got to get working on it now. You don't want to wait till it's announced, till you know all the details, till you know where the place is. It doesn't matter where the place is. You got to have that mentality. It doesn't matter where it is. We're just going to go. We're going to earn this trip. We're going to go together. Our businesses are going to grow because of it. And think of all the people you're going to bless along the way because you said I'm in. And I'm going to copy and paste that whole chat so I can go back and look at it. Julie, I love you. Thank you for
you. And I love you, Scott.
Thank you, Julie.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. And congratulations, Maddie. That was such great news tonight. Love you all.
Thank you so much.
We'll do this again, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Guys.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay on.